Okay, another question about hardened hearts here. Still pondering the ramifications of your sermon. Presumably, many of us at CBC suffer from a hardened heart, at the very least, some of the time. My questions are this: what do you envision CBC would look and act like when we are no longer burdened by hardened hearts? What is your and elders' plans for us to move forward in that position? By the way, I appreciate the October prayer helps. Without prayer, we're not going anywhere. That reminds me, we don't pray much during worship, so would you consider devoting more time to worship, more time to it in worship corporately or even small group prayer? Just a thought. Well, let's start with the first question there. Where would, if we could just dream and envision, what would a church look like that was unencumbered by hardened hearts? Well, you would see a church that was just zealous about obedience at all costs. And I just think that, we are all gonna suffer from hardened hearts till the day we die, because none of us are going to be zealous in every single command to every single degree of obedience that we possibly could. But just take, for example, one command, the Great Commission: go out into all the world and make disciples. There's a command right there: make disciples. What if we just made that, as it should be, number one priority in our life as we go to work, as we go on vacation, as we have free time with our neighbors, and as we go to school, and as we interact with our families. That is like the number one thing on our minds. Just obeying that command would be, I just think it would have radical implications on the growth of our church, the impact of this church in the Cypress area. And as we see these new believers kind of coming into the fold and they're telling their stories, just imagine the excitement, the revival that would start if we simply obeyed just that command with full zealousness, or the command to give generously, or the command to love radically, or forgive. Think about the relationship in your life where you have not forgiven that person and it has caused rot in your soul. Rot. What happens if you go and forgive that person as Christ forgave you? Think what that would do. The freedom that would, you'd be unencumbered by that. So many commands to love one another, to weep with those who weep, rejoice with those who rejoice. All of these commands God's given to us, zealously leaning into them. That's transformed community right there. I'm just telling you. It's exciting to think about. And I'm praying, as you say here that we should do, praying that the Holy Spirit wakes us up and pushes us into those things so that we become men and women and children and young adults and students who are zealous for the glory of God and obeying Him in all things, no matter the cost, no matter the cultural perceptions. We love Jesus Christ and want to obey Him. That is what it means to have a non-hardened heart. And imagine that in community. Just imagine it. In terms of prayer, yes, we have, I think you've noticed, I've done the elder prayer at the beginning of the message. It's very important to us. We spend a lot of time thinking through those things. So it's not a canned prayer. It's not something that's just recited. It's well thought out. But we also are going to have special services. As a matter of fact, one coming up here, I believe, I won't say the date, I think it's December 8th or 10th, right in there. We're having a special prayer evening devoted to prayer. We're gonna quiet our hearts and just pray. So we can look forward to that. I think those types of evening corporate prayers are very healthy for our body, and Lord willing, we'll do more of those to come. So thank you for that encouragement. You are absolutely correct. We can do nothing without the Spirit of God enabling us.